Did you know that your inventory levels are a crucial factor in your organic rank on Amazon? As if ranking and PPC optimization wasn't hard enough. Today, I'm speaking with Sammy from Regrow Media to learn all about geo ranking and how to use it to your advantage. Thanks for joining us today. I am Kimberly Locke, and this is AMZ Unlocked. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is where we explore all things Amazon and provide education, inspiration, and empowerment to help you navigate the jungle that is Amazon. And if you want to really dive deep and get serious about launching and scaling your Amazon business, then check out the pinned comment below. You can get access to my monthly workshops and VIP days where we really do a deep dive into the foundations of what it takes to launch and scale a successful Amazon business. And if you're serious about speeding up the progress of launching and scaling your Amazon business, then be sure to check out my coaching and tutoring services. I want to partner with sellers to provide one-on-one individualized coaching. You don't need more information. You need the right information for you. So you can go from survival mode to stable growth and profits and be able to sleep at night instead of worrying that it's all going to fall apart. All right, so let's dive in and learn more about geo ranking. Today I have got Sammy from Regrow Media with us. Hi, Sammy, how are you?
Hi, Emily. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me again.
Oh, very, very happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about you and your background in Amazon before we get started into everything we need to know about geo ranking.
Yeah, so I have been in the Amazon field for almost like 7 years when it all started, and I started as a seller myself. I sold or exited my first brand at which was doing almost 600,000 a year. I exited. My business partner currently runs it. I'm completely off the brand right now. After that, I started my agency, which is Regrow Media. Here we are a 35 plus member team managing over 60 plus global brands, helping with Amazon ads. So yeah, what is our day-to-day task? Like we see data, how everything is going, and trying to get over Amazon's new challenges, algorithm shifts, and that is what we are talking about today, about geo ranking.
Fantastic. Well, you are definitely the person who knows a lot about this. So can you explain to the audience exactly what geo ranking is and how it is going to impact us as Amazon sellers?
Yeah, definitely. Let me start like this. So we all know that Amazon is a platform that focuses first on their customers. So what we have seen is for every zip code that we see, there are different search results and different ad results. That means let's assume there's a zip code that we're searching right now, and you will see ads that will be relevant to your zip code, whichever products are nearer to your FBA warehouse or the FBA warehouse that is closer to you, so that you can get a faster delivery. That ads has a higher probability to show to you specifically. As well as we have seen that the organic rank also change, or the products that you're seeing organically in the search results. Let's talk about water bottle. We search water bottle with the zip code. Let's assume the zip code is something in New York. Okay. We will see different results in ads, as well as if we compare with another person who is searching, let's assume in LA. Okay. They will see, or they might see a different results both in ads as well as organic results, because Amazon will show those products which have a higher chance to deliver faster to the customer. And a lot of factors also considers in this part, like the seller rating, the product rating, and the relevancy of the product, the customer score. All this comes in play to show what products needs to be shown to that particular customer who was searching in that particular zip code. And also one thing is we have seen the CPC, or the cost per click, really varies a lot. If a product is closer to the customer, that product CPC will be very less compared to if a product is far away from the customer. So that is all about geo ranking. What is geo ranking?
Wow. So if that cost per click is higher, so I mean, how do you know then when, you're getting that higher cost per click because you're being shown to someone far away? Is there really a way to see through the data to know what's happening behind the scenes, or do you just have to kind of keep an eye on what your ad spend is?
Yeah, so what happened is me and my co-founder were sitting with Amazon's API team trying to discuss if there is an opportunity to develop a tool, particularly for this geo ranking, which will give us a zip code level data. But they were completely blind on this because they say even Amazon, I think, doesn't know about this particular data, and they don't have an API for providing such data. And it is a manual process because we have to do it by scrapping. And if because there is no such tool available right now that will give us such data. So we used multiple VAs, multiple VPNs to track this, because first, the problem that we faced was when we tried to do the same task multiple times in Amazon, then they identified us as a crawler and they completely slowed us down. The whole process was slowed down. So that was a problem. So we have to do through multiple VPNs by using 2-3 different VAs, and then we crafted the data. And that was about how we identified this. And in terms of the CPC, obviously, the way we targeted initially was because in Amazon, we cannot directly target traffic for each regions, right? But there are option in Google Ads, their option is Amazon DSP. These are the only two platforms that can drive regional traffic. So we first focus on the initial 20 keywords to drive regional traffic to a specific zip code. Among the top 10 zip codes, the first one, let's say, for example, we started driving traffic, and as soon as we start getting sales, Amazon starts moving shipment to the warehouse closer to the customer or to that region, because now there is a traffic in that region. And we have seen that whenever there is a higher stock than normal average run rate, you get more visibility, and that also impacts your geo ranking on that particular zip code. So we can't directly track the CPC, but when we see the average CPC, it was down. So that was kind of the conclusion that we came up.
All right. So then how, since it's kind of this big blank area, we know what's going on, but we can't really get the data out of it with any efficiency, then what strategies can sellers use to overcome the hurdles that this might provide?
The strategy that we used to rank was first to identify the weak zip codes. Okay. So first we have the list of 20 relevant keywords and the 10 zip codes. So we identified which zip code is ranking for the minimum or the least number of relevant keywords. So we did for every such A signs, all the 10 A signs, we identified, okay, for A sign 1, this is a weak zip code because it is ranking for the least number of relevant keywords in the first page. And that was a weak zip code for A sign 1. And similarly, we found the weak zip code for A sign 2, A sign 3, and so on for A sign 10. And we noticed that there is a common between all the 10 A signs, and we finally came up with a list of 3 to 4 zip codes. So these were the 3 to 4 initial zip codes that we are going to target for the rank. And then we started sending Google Ads and Amazon DSP to get some initial traffic on that particular region. And then the sales starts coming in and we started getting ranked because those zip codes were weak because no other competitors were so much active in those zip codes. And that was the strategy we used, and it was really good because we started getting ranks and then sales, and the competition was less in those zip codes. So our initial target was to rank in those zip codes where the competition is very less, because if we are not ranked initially, then we go and target the competitors who are doing really good. It will be really challenging for us.
So using the combination of the Amazon DSP and the Google Ads to drive the sales in those areas where you weren't showing up when you put your zip code into Amazon and your ASIN just wasn't showing up for those, then you know that's a weak area and you target that with those platforms that do allow you to be geo-specific. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And one thing is with Amazon, I think Amazon is going to release this soon, because, or if not Amazon, there will be all those tools that are going to scrap all the data and give to the sellers, because I think this is something the geo ranking shift in A9 algorithm is happening a lot. And we know this because we know that when we go and search something, the results are different and also since we are paying upfront for everything that we order, we want our order to be delivered to us as quick as possible. So since we know this is happening, so obviously Amazon is also putting a lot more efforts in geo ranking as well. So they are shifting all those warehouses, and now obviously in Q4, this is the challenge, is getting the shipments in, right? So yeah.
Fantastic. So is there an advantage? Is there a silver lining to this potentially dark cloud of geo ranking that's kind of in the mist and you don't really know what's going on sometimes without all of this really intensive research? Is there a silver lining where we could use this to our advantage?
Yeah, I think the only way we can use it to our advantage and the only data that we can see is, let's assume we are running ads targeted towards a goal of getting ranked in a specific zip codes. The only way we can track whether it is performing good for us is just by going in your fulfillment reports, trying to check where you are getting maximum orders. The other thing is, here where the strategy we used was to dominate where our competition was less. Let's assume you're competing in a very competing product, or very product where it's very competitive. There, I think this strategy can work well, because if you're already serving a niche, then you already have the data. Or if you're not serving a niche, then you can go probably and check by population density that which are the most traffic generating zip codes for Amazon.com. Now, that is something that goes very broad, because you don't have a particular data for your brand. And that is also, again, a little bit going on the blind side of the things. But when you have a brand, when you have the data already, that you know that these are the zip codes that are performing good for me, then you can go and send some regional traffic. Because if not Amazon DSP, because Amazon DSP, for a lot of sellers, they might think that Amazon DSP is very expensive, but there are agencies that can give you shared access at a very minimal cost of, I think, $500 budget also. So if not Amazon DSP, use Google Ads, right? Google Ads, we know Google Ads are really good for sending traffic. Another thing you can do is you can create a store sub page, and then we know we have attribution links that can guide us where the traffic is converting, which add to cart says we're getting from that particular link. So all this are there, and if you're running Google Ads, you can check that, okay, from this link, how much traffic we're generating. And for each zip codes, you can probably create separate traffic links or separate attribution links. And by that, you can also track, okay, this is how we are converting. That's also another thing that you can also do to check whether it is performing good for you or not.
So this sounds like it's a very work intensive, research intensive process. Is this something that you see PPC agencies like yours is going to be offering as a service to sellers going forward?
I think we are not going to offer it. We did it for only few clients because they were eager. They had VAs to do it for them. But I think the software tools that we have, also we were talking, we were in the last week, we were in the Ecom India Summit, and there was a lot of tools that were coming. They are also working on this. And we were amazed that, because they were also finding it's very difficult, and they also have ways to do this, because now if you do go and check Helium or any other tools that are available out there, they also do this scrapping, right? They also do data scrapping for each keyword, try to give you where each keyword's position rank is for each A size. So this is the same thing, just one extra filter that we are adding is the zip codes. So I think this is something that the tools are going to bring before any agency. An agency don't have to provide it as a service, because it is going to be labor intensive. A lot of work is involved in it. Until unless you already have a team that is, let's say they know how to do it, or you can train them how to do it. Because this is not a very hard task, because you just go change the zip codes, search the keywords, and check where your competitor one is ranking, right?
Right.
So tools are going to bring it much more quicker than any agency.
But no one's offering it yet. So it's something that we just need to be on the lookout for. And when it is announced, it'll be something that could really be a game-changing advantage to sellers to start adopting through the tools that bring it out first.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will add up an extra step in the product validation part as well, because now we validate by keywords, by the competition. Now you have to also validate by zip codes, that, okay, these are the initial zip codes that we have to rank. And these are the initial competitors that we have to target in the initial phase of ranking. Yeah, one thing good about Amazon is we can't specifically target which FBA warehouse we need to send our stocks, right? Amazon ships it for us and distributes where the customer is. And that is a good thing, because if one region is getting good sales, Amazon will distribute the stocks or some part of the stock to that region, which we don't have to do manually. And that is, I think, the best about this, because Amazon will move it for you, since there is customers who are looking for the product, and Amazon wants the customer to get the product as quick as possible. And the only way they can deliver as quick as possible is to have the stocks in warehouse closer to the customers. So I think that is the positive advantage of it. And yeah, I think that is how it
Yeah.
is moving on.
I mean, I've talked to some sellers, and they used to get very frustrated that Amazon was splitting their inventory up. You know, I've had
Yeah.
orders sometimes over 20 fulfillment centers when I look and see where it's going. But now knowing that this geo ranking is there, I could look and say, okay, well, you know, my stock's going to Atlanta and my stock's going to Miami.
Yeah.
So I could run some Google ads targeting those areas where I know the stock's going to be. And then that could help generate some traction. And especially if you're launching a new product where you don't have that sales history to go back on, that could be a way to help motivate or stimulate those initial sales if you're targeting with external traffic those places where you know your inventory is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that is a great point that we have it.
Fantastic. Well, this has been really enlightening. This was an area before we first chatted about this that I didn't even know existed. So I have learned a lot in preparing for this, and I've learned a lot more about the ins and outs of it and how complex it actually is. So I'm hanging out for those tools when they start putting that information out, so we can get even more specific with where we're targeting our advertising to get the most out of our PPC dollars, which is what we're all trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. Even
Well,
I'm looking for, searching for such tools. So yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sammy. I've really enjoyed this, and I'll have to have you back on again soon, because you are an absolute wealth of knowledge when it comes to PPC and advertising in Amazon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kimberly, for having me. I would love to come back again, share more knowledge about PPC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.